Here's check on stories we're following for you today on Robin Hood Radio. Pat Pagano's forecast for the tri-state region calls for a warm day today. We'll have a chance of showers later on today. Temperatures should be somewhere between 55 and 60 degrees. The National Weather Service does say that gusty southerly winds are expected tonight across the higher elevations that may lead to some downed trees and power lines. If needed, a wind advisory may be needed later today across parts of our tri-state region. Taking a look at stories we're following for you today on Robin Hood Radio. The superintendent in Region 1, Lisa Carter, is reviewing the Connecticut General Assembly decision with respect to the change in mask requirements in schools. There'll be a formal statement about Region 1's decision as soon as the superintendent completes discussions with all Region 1 boards of education and after the receipt of specific guidance from the Connecticut Department of Public Health and Education. The decision will be communicated on or before February 28th. From TricornerNews.com, the Board of Selectmen in Salisbury voted to go ahead with the municipal solid waste contract with the Materials Innovation and Recycling Authority during their regular monthly meeting. First Selectman Curtis Rand gave a quick overview of how Myra's aging trash-to-energy facility in East Hartford is closing after the state declined to invest more than $300 million to replace it. Rand explained Myra is trying to get its 49-member towns to commit to an amended contract through 2027, which will see trash shipped to out of state. Quoting Rand, "We've been members of Myra for over 30 years, and I can only say it's been a good relationship," end quote. 3 African-American artists of the Harlem Renaissance will be the focus on Monday, February 28th of a program hosted on Zoom by Noble Horizons and the Scoville Library. The Harlem Renaissance emerged around 1920 in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City. The period is known for the prolific production of the literary, visual, and musical arts within the African-American community. The 7 p.m. program is being presented by Artscapades. Registration and a Zoom link are available at noblehorizons.org/events. The Water Pollution Control Authority in Salisbury held a public hearing and subsequently voted to approve an 8% rent increase for residents who use town water and sewer services. Don Malin, WPCA chair, said the increase reflects the extensive infrastructure improvement of recent years. The increase will take effect on July 1st. Malin was not too concerned about managing the increase. Quote, "We're just about in the middle range," he said, end quote, comparing with Salisbury rates to other towns in the area. Sharon residents are voting on a solar power plan for the school. From TricornerNews.com, open to the possibilities of alternative energy resources, the Board of Selectmen approved signing a contract with Connecticut Green Bank Solar at their regular meeting. First Selectman Colley reported the town attorney had reviewed the contract to see installation of solar panels on town property adjacent to Sharon Center School, a project that would provide for the school's energy needs. He added that the Board of Education has approved the general concept. The project will still need approval from other town boards as part of the process, Colley said, adding that the Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing and gather residents' comments. Weavertuck High School principal Katie McEnroe is scheduled to retire in June after 16 years since she first came to the Northeast Weavertuck Central School District. The principal has time been well spent. She's had the privilege of watching the district and students evolve through the years. And though her retirement in June will signal the end of her full-time career in education, she said she hopes to stay involved in the Weavertuck community. In Kent, confusion over job role status of the historic structure has led to frustration in Kent. The Swift House Task Force was hoping to discuss with the Board of Selectmen an increase of some line items for repairs and maintenance for the upcoming budget year and a possible new charge of duties, but was derailed when told that the ADA compliance will prohibit anyone from using the building. It's unclear who the town's ADA coordinator is. Land Use Administrator Donna Hayes believed it was Joe Manley, who is the town's building official, but Manley said he was never appointed to the role. Hayes tried to speak for Manley Thursday at the Selectmen's meeting by stating that no one could use the building currently because of ADA accessibility concerns. The first Selectman could not say when Manley was appointed as the ADA coordinator, and she wasn't sure who previously held that position. Selectmen were discussing projects at the Swift House Task Force would like to get accomplished to refresh the building. And state officials are close to issuing their COVID-19 safety guidelines. With the planned elimination of statewide school mask mandate on February 28th, school superintendents and boards are determining masking requirements. Some school districts are waiting for guidance from the State Department of Public Health. And in New York State, Governor Hochul has extended the COVID state of emergency into March with cases dropping. Hochul signed an executive order to sustain the government's disaster emergency powers, which allow state officials to continue various efforts to support COVID-19 vaccine distributions and enforce other regulations intended to limit the virus's spread. The move came after Hochul last week lifted New York's indoor mask mandate for businesses, citing rapidly declining COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations since the winter surge peak in early January. Taking a look at some meetings going on locally in our tri-state region. Today at 8:30 this morning, the special joint meeting of the Inland Wetlands Commission and the Planning and Zoning Commission. At 5:30 tonight in Salisbury, the Affordable Housing Commission. In Cornwall at 7 p.m. tonight, the Board of Finance meeting via Zoom. And in Northeast New York, the ZBA meeting will be held tonight as well. Our business brief is underwritten by Morgan's at the Interlaken, interlakeninn.com. A great tapas menu, specials every day. Interlakeninn.com. You'll find them on Facebook and Instagram. And by Salisbury Bank, salisburybank.com. Dow Jones Industrial Average will start off the day today at 34,934.27. The Nasdaq at 14,124.10. And the S&P 500 at 4475.01. We'll take a look at the tri-state forecast. That'll come your way in just a few moments.